Go.
So what we are supposed to play now is a piece composed by myself. It's entitled Caucasian Dance. I don't know why I called it Caucasian dance, but according to many people, especially Dimitri, he says it has a Caucasian spirit. And Caucasian is a wide, actually term, because Caucasian may include whatsoever nation in the Caucasian area, whether it's Azerbaijani, Russian, Georgian, even some people may consider Uzbeks and Kazakhs, and all these people are Caucasians. And I mean, it's a very wide musical scope anyway, so they have multiple spirits, multiple musical spirits. And anyway, I called it like this because I felt it's not from here, it's not from this area, but still it has glimpses of maqam, of our maqam, and we use it as a final for the Agam wa Shayran Wasla anyway. It's in Ajam wa Shayran. A maqam said to be close to the major maqam in the Western music. Yes, it is. It's true, but it's close to the old version of major in the Western musical tradition.
Which
so
is?
I mean, which has different notes, different measurements than the
Can you
piano.
explain a bit what's the difference of the old
No, you
major
can explain
and
it back to them.
major?
It's you will do it better. Go on.
No, I don't think it's hard for me. يعني. I mean, it's very similar to what we call major. It's very similar to what we would call si bemol major, but still the laws يعني, on which you work out this scale turn out not to fit into the simple يعني, description.
But
of
if
the
we
major
play it
scale.
in an accordion or in a harmonium, it will sound differently.
Yes, yes.
Because actually we have still a lower fa,
Mm.
which doesn't change in Arab music. The Arab music doesn't have the piano fa.
Mm.
So in relation to si bemol, the fifth will be a bit down,
Mm-hmm.
and the mi bemol still a bit down.
Mm-hmm.
So that we have the fourth and fifth do not agree with what piano
Mm-hmm.
music says, actually. So we play like we don't play. No, we play like this, which is quite audible to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, so not only the spirits or the laws of the maqam, not only that, but also the intervals are not do not belong to the 20th century understanding of what music is. So we have still Baroque measurements one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So this applies also to mahur and similar maqams which belong to the same family. We do not have stable majors in the eyes of the Western music. So the piece is in 6/8, I think.
Yes.
6/8, yes. The typical rhythm of these people, and I wish one day I played with a nagara. Yeah, as a percussive instrument. And I'm actually trying to find even a nagara player or a nagara for an Egyptian player, but everything's dependent on what you are going to achieve in the future. So we will take it from a very slow movement to its normal speed, and we'll stop in the middle of the piece in order to explain some parts and such things. And in case Dimitri may or I may commit any mistakes, we'll correct each other and we'll see what will happen. So it's always Dimitri who starts the piece. luckily. Okay, so here we have apparently a theme which is repeated, which is the A. Okay, and it's in a rondo form, and even a medieval rondo form, in which we go like A, B, A, C, A, D, A, and a final. And as noticed, we didn't have any problems except in the last part, the D part, because it's really written in a very stupid way. Let me put it this way clearly. Sudden changes without any notification. So we have something like a syncopated passage, and all of a sudden we go out and return from a different place in a very strange way, and so it causes some kind of disturbance. So we'll go to the D again. So sol, sol, fa. repeat 1, 2, 3. So this is how it goes, because it's sometimes very tricky to play this first part, because you just take it as one sentence. You go out and then out more, and then you return to the normal thing. So this is about its formation. We have just played it, I think once in one of the concerts. Was very beautifully played. We start from very slow, and so on. We take the speed gradually. Sometimes I noticed this sometimes in the Caucasian places, especially in the Russian part of Caucasia, in the Garmon. Don't you call it Garmon?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Correct? I think this is the accordion?
صح.
صح. Okay, so this took us some time to play. It's not a difficult piece anyway, but it has to be played in order to make the ornamentation within the piece, whether for him, for me, and not to agree, but to leave spaces for each other. This is a very important thing. I don't have to ornament all through, and he doesn't have to ornament all through, because if we both ornament at the same time, no one will say the melody, so the melody will disappear simply within the ornamentation, and you will end up with no melody. So sometimes I ornament, sometimes he ornaments, and things go like this. And this is the most important part. If we play it strictly according to the score, it will sound nothing, because we don't have a melody. We don't. The concept of a very fixed melody that has to be said, has to be played in a certain manner is not present in our maqam music. Anyway, so we have to start looking at what's written on the score, and then start adding what is known as heterophony. Each of us says his point of view instantaneously, but without breaking the chances for the others to put such things together. If he plays the main melody, play the main melody, for instance. This can be a funeral march. If we play together, 1, 2. No, play it as it is written.
Okay.
I'm talking about this. So if you play it as it's written.
1, 2, 3, 1.
So it's nothing. This is not the spirit of our music. Even if we play it quickly, this is not the problem. The problem is that we have to play it 1, 2, 3. Like this. Again, the melody is clear, but we have ornamentation. This is how the approach of our music, and this is not only in the maqam music. This is everywhere except in the Western classical music, or let's say the modern Western classical music. starting after the classical music or the classical period, starting Beethoven onwards, we are not allowed to improvise. Like in before wise, we are allowed to improvise, and even Mozart left spaces for improvisation in his concertos. This is very well known, and this has been very well documented nowadays. So, I mean, we have to be careful not to be dropped in this. We don't have to exaggerate in the ornamentation. We don't have to play it purely like we do in the classical musical parts. This is what I can say about this piece.
So if you change the maqam, tell about the maqam when you change.
We don't have any clear changes except to Kurdi in the second, in the C, and Hijaz in the D. We had just briefly even went to these maqams. We didn't continue for a long time into a shifting or into some kind of what we call it, going to other maqams or so.
But وضحها شوي عشان.
So for instance, Agha Masharan is one of the maqams that always goes to Sabah. It can go to Sabah. It's from Agha Masharan, from Aja Masharan. Yeah. So it's easy to go there. It's easy to go to Sabah from
Sabah from Re.
From Re, yes.
From Re.
From Re.
Yeah.
Yes. Bearing in mind that we are playing it as some kind of B flat major or C bemol major. So we can go to Sabah from Re. We can go also to Sabah from Sol, by the way. Okay? Both are possible. Okay? We can visit the Nahawand from Sol. We can visit the Hijaz from Re. And certainly we can visit the Kurdi from Re. And these are, we have relative maqams like the Shawq Afza, which is something between Sabah and Agha Masharan. It goes like this. Okay, so we have the same Agha Masharan with the Sol bemol with a G flat. So this is, the maqam is generally limited. Agha Masharan. It's generally limited. It's not a very wide maqam, and it's not used that much. It's not a main maqam. Even its family, the family is Jarga, Jaharga, which is a very wider family, which has many things to deal with what we know as Oriental music, as maqam music. It's one of the maqams that many people try to use it to attack the ears of the Western people, to attract them to our music. But actually, yes, despite the fact that it's very close to the major scale in the Western music, no, it has its own features. It has its own Middle Eastern features, which has to be considered. It still has spirit. It still has rules to be followed. It still has a ramaz. It still has a central note. It still has a stopping point on which you have to stop. It's not a haphazard scale on which you run and you stop wherever you want and however you want. No, it's not like this. It's still a maqam with all its rules, with all its governing sayr, as we call it in Arabic. To an extent, we have to be abided by this sayr in order to achieve this maqam.
Can you talk about the sayr and with your ney?
Okay, the sayr of the Agha Masharan is simply it is like this.
Agha Masharan start from the B flat.
The C bemol, yes, the note called Agha Masharan, and it arrives to the note called Ajam, Ajam only. So we have this Agha Masharan part and this Agam note. Okay, so each of them has a name. So we start from up. It's a descending maqam. So it goes from up to down. We start very loud. and then we go sometime. Yani, the best thing to do is to play it between La and C. So we go. And then down to, we play a bit of Nahawand from Sol. And then down to Re as a Kurdi. And then we get up again, we go up again. And here we stop. So we go down gradually till Re, and then we get up. We go up. We go up to Agam, and then almost down instantaneously to the Agam Sharan, where we have to stop. Okay, we here in the piece we played, we stopped on the upper part. It's allowed sometimes especially in the fast pieces, to stop in the upper part. It's not illegal. This is what I can say about this.
And you play last time? This is again, please?
This piece?
Yeah, this piece. Last time.
Start.